We are back again for Game 2 tonight here in Division 3 quarterfinals match pitting the Goomies versus Bash. I'm Lagoon and I'm joined by my co-host Omazen.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to what's going to be probably one of the most fun and interesting sets we have tonight. I'm excited for it. I know, Lagoon, you're also excited for it. Hope you all are also excited for it who are watching right now. But yeah, we have a really exciting set here coming up. Lagoon, do you have any initial thoughts that you want to highlight as we head into this first match here of this set?
Well, I'm looking here at some of the cheat sheets we've been provided. It looks like both teams are 4-1 going into playoffs, so these are shown to be very even teams. I've heard that the Goomies, especially in the fantasy league, are a very popular team and are a lot of people's picks to win the entire Division 3 playoffs. But Bash is not gonna take that line down. They have something to say. They have something to prove. They are looking forward to going against the Goomies, and I think this is going to be a very back and forth game, very back and forth set going here.
Yeah, no, absolutely. For those of you who aren't familiar, I'm actually also Rain from Purdue University, just like Bash, and I actually play on a team with some of the members of the Goomies. So I'm in a bit of a pickle here, at least personally. Uh, I have my fellow classmates that I want to cheer on, but then I also have my actual normal teammates that I also want to cheer on. So, a bit of a funny situation there. However, I'm really excited to cheer on both of them, and it's going to be really interesting seeing their dynamics clash. Historically, Goomies has a really kind of fast play style. At times, it can be a little reckless, although typically they do find their footing, and they do a really good job of applying strong pressure onto the opposite team. And Bash likes to play a bit more slow, but overall, also another strong team. So yeah, we're heading into this first game here on Rainmaker of Undertow. And yeah, let's take a look at these teams.
So what I'm seeing here are pretty standard comps for what we know of. You have the double Zuka and the cooler from the side of the Goomies, and then you have a lot of very common weapons you see: ball, shot, and zap from Bash. So it looks like both teams are going very very standard comps. But we're gonna see which one reigns out supreme. Will the double Zukas roll out better for the Goomies, or will the strikes from the sloshing machine, as well as the inkjet from the BP, be good for Bash? But right now it looks like Goomies are going, as you said, they're going fast and they're going hard to get this first Rainmaker push against Bash here.
Yeah, they already have pretty strong control of that left shoulder there, as you can all see. With the Trizuka coming out from the shot, trying to apply more pressure, trying to keep that Rainmaker safe. Although we do see Fox here, unfortunately getting caught out and pounced by all the different members of Bash as they begin to take the Rainmaker here. Apply more pressure as they push it back against the enemies.
Yeah, that ball point there, we got that inkjet out, and you saw all of the members of the Goomies were just kind of stuck in that corner and didn't have much way to go. So the ball point had a really really easy time just shooting there and getting a couple picks there. As now the Bash is now just trying to reset things to neutral. They're still they're a little struggling still to go forward as Goomies again gets more picks here. So the ball point is about halfway to inkjet, but the Zuka is going to come out. Looks like Bubble's going to try and get behind, push out the ball point. Fox is going to go up, break this first checkpoint, and Goomies are now.
Yeah, and as we see here, the Goomies, as we were saying, they're already getting a lot of control here of the plat, as we see the bucket from the side of Bash starting to move up with their teammates, trying to push out the pencil player, who appears to have jumped out, if I saw that correctly. And we already see a Rainmaker reset, as Goomies has a pretty strong hold, points-wise, through their hold of the checkpoint.
Yeah, and Bash now trying to go on the offensive here. They have the strikes out, and they have this ball point here with their inkjet ready. Cooler's going to come out, and it's going to be very imperative that the ball point gets the pick on the pencil, but Fox is able to pick him out of the air, and now the Bash is down again in the man advantage, as it's just the ball point RNG over there on the side, as now the Goomies are going through the left check. And remember, this map got changed recently. There is no glass there. If you are not careful, they can the team pushing can very easily score points if they just rush through that choke area with the barrier there. but it looks like Bash was able to stop that push. They're able to get going again. They just need to find an opening to actually get their push going, because they're able to get the picks when the Goomies are starting to push, but Bash needs to do something similar in return here.
Yeah, so far we haven't really seen Bash be able to get onto Gumi's half of mid so far. We do see them starting to get some points on the board as they get 8, getting a 92 remaining score. We do see Warmonk go down on the side of Bash, as well as the ballpoint player, as Lumino gets a pretty solid pick for Gumis and delays Bash's push.
Yeah, it looks like Bash now is finally being able to get on the offensive here. And then the Zuka. It always happens where you think you're ready to go, and then one Zuka just comes in and gets you. And Bash was trying to follow up, take advantage of the Zuka while they were still getting their main weapon back. But it looks like Bash didn't lose too much mid control here. They still have the man advantage, but now it looks like the Goomies are trying to getting back to neutral ground here. 3-2 advantage for Bash. They get the pencil out of here, and this is the time. Is the Splash Barrier going to be able to do anything? Doesn't look like they're getting pushed back again. And now Bash has to decide, do they want to go for quick points on the right, or do they want to go for the long push on the left? It looks like all of Goomies are ready to defend left, and they're leaving the Rainmaker all alone a little bit here. It's very risky as the shot from Lumino is looking at them. It's very close here with a minute left on the clock.
Yeah, it seems like Bash really wanted to push right there. Unfortunately, we did just see them go down to the pencil player from the Goomies. Really, they just needed to commit to a direction there, unfortunately. And although there is just under a minute left on the clock, there is plenty of time for the match to still go either way.
Ooh, the Zap somehow got through all those Zuka shots, gets the Rainmaker down. Unfortunately for the rest of Bash, the machine and the shot are still up in the grill of Bash. But it looks like now Bash is going to get either a delayed wipe or a very close wipe. They have a Zuka warmed up and ready, and Goomies that weren't cooled, it doesn't look like. They had a very long respawn timer, and Lettuce now going for the checkpoint. It looks like they're getting struck, but they're not quite able to get it.
They're just short of it. There are a couple seconds left on the clock. Bash could pull something off here, although it looks like Goomies is going to barely get that check defended and secure the Rainmaker, and through that, locking in this first game in favor of themselves. Wow, Lagoon, that was a crazy first match to start off with.
Yeah, and at the very end here, you saw, I believe it was Warmonk on the side of Bash. They were able to get the pick up there, and maybe with the ballpoint could have pincered, but there was just too many people around that Rainmaker to make it seem worth it. And Gumi's able to get really good pushes, but Bash at the end finally found their footing and was able to almost take the checkpoint. It looks like he got stuck a little bit because they weren't able to paint up for him, and they were just a little short of getting that first checkpoint, but still a very close match so far tonight, and it looks like it's gonna be a really good one to watch.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And wow, like looking back on that set, right, or that match in particular, we did see Bash start to find their footing towards the latter half of it as they were able to push Goomies out a bit more consistently. They were able to ensure that Goomies never was able to have full control of their plat. They couldn't really ever get control of the Greats, for instance, which would have opened up a lot of pressure for them. And they were able to take that to their advantage and use that momentum to really get into mid, apply more pressure as we saw towards the end there. Unfortunately, they weren't able to have the Rainmaker fully follow up. It seemed like there might have been a little bit of miscommunication on that part, potentially. But looking into these next few games, I'm sure we'll start to see some of that ironed out a little bit more, and we'll also have to see what Goomies has to cook up in response to what Bash has thrown at them so far as well.
Yeah, and as we're heading into our second game here on Clan Blitz Museum Dolphoncino, again, there's a lot of communications that go in here. There's a lot of different ways into the opponent's court here, as we're looking at the keys to victory here. See the 4-1 season record for both of them. But yeah, with Clan Blitz Museum, there's a lot of different. It sometimes doesn't feel like there's a lot of different ways into the enemy, like spinner area. But you have that block, you have that way through mid, you have that ramp on the right. There's a lot of ways you can get if you get pincered here, and if you have the enemy team pushing onto your spinner, you already know you're in a lot of trouble. Like, it's such an important area to have on both sides here. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what each team does here as we're going into game 2. As we're and we're gonna see if Bash is able to get the game back on the Goomies, because again, that last match was very close. So it looks like we're gonna be. Let's see if we're in for another one here.
Definitely, definitely. All right, we're already getting a little bit of a peek of each comp as this match is about to begin. And let's see what they both have. It seems like the Goomies have relatively the same comp, swapping out their Neo Machine in favor of a Slosher. Bash, it has an E-Leader on their side now. So we see a little bit of a difference in each comp. Not anything too dramatically different, which is to be expected from both of these teams. Bash is already starting to move up a bit in the mid as the Goomies are mostly focusing on paint pressure and also just getting a good hold of their half of the map, as we see a lot of bombs getting thrown around, some early specials from this Tryzuka. The Goomies are starting to move in the mid, as we see, I believe, Bubbles and Fox applying a lot of pressure here in mid, forcing Bash, my apologies, to start to move back. We see a couple players already down on the side of Bash, as they are in control already.
Yeah, Bash with the leader, you know, is obviously a very good pick on Museum, but it has the Kraken, and it's like, again, as Kraken Cheese has been mostly phased out because of it, it doesn't mean it's still really not a good defensive special here on Museum, as you see it coming out now, going after one of the members of Goomies, but it looks like they're able to sidestep it as another one of the members was able to pop the basket. The E-Leader finishes their Kraken right in front of him. The Sloshers keep it out the Lumino on the shot. And it looks like they're just going to get a one-clamp push here, the Goomies, which, you know, isn't bad. It's always nice to get points on the board first. But it looks like the Goomies are still all up in the base of Bash. And it looks like they're going to score some more power clamps, but not quite. They got one in, they got two in. And Goomies now has a very good opening here on Clam Blitz.
Yeah, and they're still applying pressure to Bash's plat as well, as we saw, I believe, the Slosher player just about the last second, a few seconds ago. Bash is already starting to retake mid here, as we see some counter specials come out from the side of the Goomies, and them also beginning to go into the throws, as we see Lumino throw off some really strong bombs here with his quarter shot. And the Goomies are already, once again, retaking the Bash spinner.
Yeah, Goomies, again, very up in the base of Bash, but Bash is able to get the 3 down, and it looks like Goomies' pencil is just going to have to retreat all the way back in the spinner, and now Bash's time to push is now. They have all of their specials going out, starting with the cooler. What's going to be interesting, they have the strikes out, they get the Zuka out, 1 down on the side of Goomies. They only have a crab tank to defend, and Bash has enough clamps here, I believe, to take lead. The Kraken is going to go in, cause a distraction, eat all the bombs, but they're leaving their teammates kind of behind there. 2 down, and it's only the Kraken up again, and that's sometimes the downside of Kraken. You have to leave your team behind and just hope they can deal with it. But Goomies was able to stop that entire push, and Bash lost both of their power clams.
That's a really rough place to be in if you're Bash in this scenario. We see the Goomies pouncing on the last few members of Bash who were in mid, hoping to apply a bit more pressure, although unfortunately that didn't work out in their favor. We do see the E-Leader from the side of Bash doing their best to fend off the different players. Also, unfortunately, their Zap player does go down as Goomies sets up for yet another push as they have full control of Bash's spinner. They have a few power clams here. We already see them go down to remaining 30 points, 27-24. They have Fox at the grates at the top of the spinner as we see them try to push them out. They do get 3 down though, leaving just Lumino out on the court somewhere. As we see them, it looks like they're already on their spinner, so they may have jumped back. They might be picking up the spot. Yeah, Bash has quite a lot to make up here.
Yeah, Bash those strikes were really good at keeping out Goomies, but now Bash has a long way to go in order to get back any sort of, you know, scoring here. 3 down again. Goomies now in control again. Goomies does have a little bit of a push to a little bit of penalty to go through, but honestly, they don't need the push anymore, and I don't think they should, because all you do if you push again and don't win the game is you're just going to give Bash another power clam and give them more of a chance to go in. But they say that they're not caring. They want to end this with a knockout. It looks like Goomies some clans able to do it, not quite enough, and the Slosh is going to come from behind, take out the Crab Tank, and now potentially Bash is going to have at least some. It's not a lot, but it's something to start with because they're going to have 2 PD clamps going into a potential overtime here as they're pushing Goomies again back to their their spinner, but Warm-Up gets stuck by the Slosher, and with 10 seconds left, Bash is going to have to make a hell of an effort in order to get all the way into Gumi space and get basically a perfect push.
Oh, and we see 2 down, unfortunately, on the side of Bash right now as we've entered overtime, and the clock keeps ticking down. The E-leader is still holding a power clam, although at the moment they're all still stuck on their plat as they've been struggling to get in with the bomb and special pressure being put out by the Goomies. We do see Nemo trying to force in a last-second push with his triple ink strike, although unfortunately it does not work out. And that's going to be game 2 going to the Goomies.
Yeah, Goomies were, again, as we saw with their first game, they had very, very good pushes, but this time they didn't let Bash get those defensive stops. Goomies full force just lived in Bash's spinner for so long, and were able to keep all the pressure up and not allow them to get any points there. And the one push that Bash had, they didn't. They had it all. They just weren't able to fully capitalize on it. But shake it off. Going into game 3, Splat Zone's Robo Ramen, new time. Don't get caught up on this game. Sometimes you're gonna have blowouts. Sometimes you're gonna have close matches. Let's get back in there for game 3. Get our first point off the board.
Something we'd like to highlight really quick from our keys to victory graphic is that Bash has had quite a few more game 7s compared to Goomies has had recently when it comes to these CCA league matches. Recently, Bash had a 4-3 win against the Girly Pops, for instance, which was quite the tough game, everything considered, as Girly Pops was previously strongly favored heading into the playoffs for this season of the CCA League. So, although Goomies has historically done a great job at making set counts fairly low, Bash they clearly have the stamina, if you ask me, Luke Lagoon, in order to really come out on the winning side of a set. Any additional thoughts?
Yeah, I was gonna call up there the stamina thing. It's like, this isn't best of 7 anymore. This is best of 9. There are so many more games to play. Like, yes, Goomies are up 2-0 right now, but there's still 3 more games at minimum for them to win, and at minimum there's still 7 games left. So it's really going to come down to who has the stamina. But yeah, Goomies here, as you saw with the 4-0 and the 2-4 against UNM and Griffink, then Bash getting some impressive victories: 4-3 over the Girly Pops, 4-2 over CSULB Black, and if we can get back to those keys to victory after the match, so we can fully read them and get more of an insight as to what each team are playing, that'd be cool. But game 3 here on Robo Ramen Splat Zones. Let's see if there's any major switches up, and it looks like a double cooler comp over from the side of Goomies with the Tri-Nouveau and the Pencil, as opposed to more of a standard comp from Bash with that Junior with the new and improved Bubbler.
Yeah, it looks like Bash is looking to play kind of similar to the Goomies and be a bit more faster on their end. That Pencil is going to be really helpful in applying a lot more paint pressure as well, which is something that Bash has struggled a little bit on these first couple games. So as we can see, this match is already quite contested, as we do see Bash get the initial capture on the zone, although Goomies is already right back at them and has already taken their small lead.
Yeah, Goomies again having this Crab Tank is going to be very important about where they pop it. But Bash has the specials they deal with it properly. They have the strikes. They're able to flip zone. Tri-Slosher is down on the side of Goomies. Someone is going in, and it's the Junior going far in and just pushing back all of Goomies. They don't quite have a bubble. They just popped their bubbler too, and now the Slosh is getting in, and Bash is going to take lead here, and it looks like they're in position now to start a lockout here on Robo Ramen. But the strikes are going to come out from Goomies. Crab Tank coming out. Crab Tank getting popped right now, but not quite able to flip zone, and now Goomies are finally able to take back zone here.
Yeah, we do see Bash do a good job of being able to back up overall and not get completely wiped out on that push. as Splash-O-Matic from the side of Goomies does go down to that pencil there, and we do see some specials start to come out from the side of Bash. So far, they've done a great job of being able to counter what they've already had to deal with so far these past couple games from Goomies, as we see them continue to hold this zone down. They start to try to make their way into the shoulder of the Goomies half mid. Although we do see this zone get contested once again, although the pencil player from Bash is doing a phenomenal job of overall making it relatively in Bash's favor.
Yeah, and I think what you said here, there's two pencils on each side. There's two shots on each side. Granted, they're different kinds of shots, but the pencils are going to be really like, who is the better pencil here? Who is able to get more coolers? Who is able to possibly get more picks and paint more for the side of their respective team? As the Tri-Slasher from the Goomies goes hard in on the pencil, not able to find anything to get out, and they get picked off for that. And it looks like they're a little too aggressive there, but the mid is still contested pretty well, and Goomies and Bash are going back and forth 2v2s. The pencils painting each other's zones, painting the zones for each team as hard as they can. Still nothing. Pencil goes down from Bash, and Goomies again are able to take the zone. But I don't know if we're going to see if they're going to be able to keep it. I say that, and then Lumino is able to go in. The bucket, the slosher for Bash is the only thing keeping them distracted, and now Goomies are going to be in their position to try for a lockout here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we see the Goomies. They've already made up quite a bit of time overall. We do see Warmonk from the side of Bash trying to poke in this right route as they go up against a Tri-Slosher, who's also trying to ensure that Bash can't make up that much ground, as we see Bubbles trade out and fall to that junior player from the side of Bash. Bombs constantly coming out from Bash, although these triple ink strikes are also not going to make Bash's life that easy when it comes to keeping this zone in their favor.
Yeah, those strikes got those jumpers perfectly. The two down on the side of Bash, they basically just lost them again. They were playing two down for so long. Now Goomies is fully up into Bash's elbow. We do see a flank here from the junior. Is he able to get anything? He pops the bubble, but unfortunately goes down to the T-Tech.
Just enough.
It was just enough. Everything else just like kind of found their way for their teammates here. And now Bash is back in control of this game. And it looks like even though Goomies is able to get the pushes going and is able to sometimes get the lockout, Bash right now in this map, in this mode right now, is able to, you know, keep the Goomies at bay way better than they were in the last game on Clamblitz.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Goomies has so far done a really great job of being able to push a bit more forward into their opposing team's base compared to what Bash has been able to do. We do see, unfortunately, Rare go down off from the side of Goomies to a bomb, although Goomies is just barely holding on, getting that lead just enough in order to try to cement a very clean victory if possible for them. We do see Bash trying to break in the mid a bit more. Bubbles doing a really good job from the side, just distracting some of the members of Bash and getting their focus off the zone. Lumino also trying to do that to the best of their ability. And we see this bubble. It's gonna flip again! And we're gonna go into overtime.
Oh, hang on, but Bubble, not able to get any picks with the Tri-Slosher, and now Bash is going to push the Goomies so far back into their base, but they have to be careful of these flanks that could happen on the right side of the map. As the penalty is gone, they have to hold on for about another 20 seconds. The pencil goes down from the Goomies, and that is not a good first sign. The T-Tech goes down. They have a crab tank to work with, but I don't think it's going to be enough. They're painting mid their hardest. They're going to contest it! But it's not quite enough. Bash is able to hold on.
Yeah, the triple ink strikes came out just a little bit too late from Goomies as they were going for that last second zone swap. If they popped those or had those just a second or two early, they probably could have stalled out the zone just long enough and gotten that cap. But yeah, this game's gonna go to Bash, and as we were kind of mentioning earlier, everyone, this is like two really close teams skill-wise, and like they honestly counter each other pretty well when it comes down to it. We see in this replay here just how close a lot of these captures were, as we see Goomies have a really strong push back against Bash and getting that really strong 7 remaining point score. Wow. Yeah, that was easily one of the closest matches we've seen tonight.
Yeah, the junior goes in, gets the bubble, and then speaking of bubble, bubble is just by himself, by themselves, and then just not able to get any more picks. And then here is Bash getting way up into Gumi's face here. The strike's able to come out, keep them at bay for a little longer, and then just watching all of them into their base. The pencil goes down, which is a paint machine. It's not able to do anything. The T-Tech goes out, so there goes the strikes. They're probably cooler though, which is why we see them later. And then this crab tank here from the splash mat trying to do everything they can. And you see the strikes go out from the side of Goomies, but just too little, too late. And and that slight weight causes Bash to take this game.
We're about to head into this fourth game of the night here, but wow, that like Bash showed through that game like what they can do, and that they can fight against what the Goomies throws at them, and come together to use their strong stamina that we mentioned earlier and shut down their offense when necessary. So we're heading into tower control Manta Maria. Quite the kind of chokeholdy map, if you ask me, with all the different geometry that the different teams will have to be going around. Any thoughts on that and the different team play styles we've seen so far, Lagoon?
Yeah, I'm almost expecting the Bash to bring out the ballpoint again. This is a very good ballpoint map, or Splatlings in general, just like able to play around on the top great. And Jet is also so good here, able to take out the people in street, the people in left court. You see over here from Wet Fox, yeah, as we see, instead of going pencil, they go the heavy edit, and the ballpoint does come out again from Bash. Doubles again, similar comps as what we saw in Undertow. Double Zuka on the side of Goomies versus the Inkjet and the Tri Strikes over from Bash. And this is gonna be a little bit of a rerun of what we saw earlier. Which Splatling will reign supreme here, the heavy edit or the ballpoint? As getting started here, Goomies is getting a very strong push, getting Bash one down already, but Bash isn't falling out quite yet. They're playing it safe, getting back to their court. As Goomies looks like they're able to take Bash's bunker, and Goomies first points on the board here as on Manta Maria.
Yeah, definitely. We see Goomies, they've been doing a great job to put a lot of pressure on Bash to start off the match. The sloshing Neo ultimately going down in their bunker there. Unfortunately, we do see 3 down from the side of Goomies, in part due to that amazing teamwork from War Monk and Orange Panda. A great Inkjet usage right there for sure. We see Bash starting to push up with their other specials, their Trizuka, their Bubble, their Soda as well, as they go into the bunk, put pressure on it, and we already see quite a lot of contesting going on in mid, as a lot of them do go down just 1 point short of a lead.
Yeah, but what's 1 point at this point with that wipeout really threw a wrench into Bash's plans here, as Goomies now get another pick onto Lettuce, and now here comes a little bit of a steamroll maybe. No, Goomies 2 down. The bucket getting out the Splashmatic. It's just Fox on the heavy edit, still kind of in their bunker. They have the sodas ready for their teams when they jump back, and this is really going to be what the key of the game is here. If they can get each other's respective backlines with the ballpoints and or the head it, getting into their bunker and just kind of keeping it there, you're going to see a lot of points happen very fast here, as Bash now has a lot of paint control of Goomies side of the map. This is their time to make a push here, as the strikes come out and they get lead, and the ballpoint goes down, but Bash still gets lead, and that counts for something, as the ballpoint was stacked. He has that jet, but it looks like Bash is going to have to stop this push here, as Goomies get back into mid.
Yeah. As you mentioned, really want to highlight just how important both of these backlines are for each side. The Headit and Ballpoint are able to put out a pretty decent amount of pain, everything considered. The Ballpoint putting on a lot of kill pressure, and the Headit being necessary to help the team get back into the match with both the soda and also with some paint pressure. We do see the triple egg strike coming out from the side of Goomies, as they're able to take out the V-shot from Bash, and we do see the Crab also come out, not able to. They do get the Crab player from the looks of it, but they're just holding on for dear life. So much is going on as they're trying to get past this choke point, and they do barely tap onto this last. Oh, they're not even barely tap onto. They're holding this last checkpoint, and they're strolling right into the goal, and that's gonna be game 4 for Goomies.
Yeah, yeah. You saw Goomies had a very good push starting out there, where they were able to go, have the very good 4-1 man advantage over Bash, and the Bash like never really found it back. They kept dying like in sequence over and over again, and never quite able to get that solidified comeback that they needed. And Goomies able to hold very strong the entire time there. You even saw Fox get up onto the enemy team's mast, and everyone else just kind of going around there. And Lumino, Bubble, and Rare doing a very good job just with the Zukas and the Crab teams keeping back the members of Bash, getting this victory for Goomies to go 3-1, fitting into Game 5 here. Yeah, as we see here from one of our Game 6 quarterfinals matches, the Llamas versus Coyotes Blue. Coyotes Blue right now 3-1 against the Llamas. They're also on their Game 5. About 10 seconds left on the clock. Looks like Blue is looking to go to get 4 games here. Llamas go down, and it looks like Blue is going to hold on. Not quite.
Oh, whoa!
Lost the
What a
Rainmaker.
moment!
I
What?
believe Blue still got it, right?
No, they
That's
were
what.
one
No, they
point
didn't.
short.
Oh,
Wow. Okay.
I thought they had lead. I was not paying attention. I thought Blue had lead.
No.
Wow. And then Llama. Okay, never mind. Llamas now in our quarterfinals Div 6 game. Llamas is now 2-3 against Coyotes Blue. Wow, that was we get a mini
Wow.
match inside of a match. That was very close.
Yeah, that was a really fun moment to just barely catch a glimpse of. Looks like the Llamas is going to be hanging in there in their set. Although, as you all noticed, that was Rainmaker Humpback Pump Track, and that's what we're about to head into as well here now. And wow, okay, they really just did a great job of demonstrating probably the most important part of that map and what you have to do a really good job of pushing through, which is going to be that shoulder and then getting through the enemy splat to the best of your ability without getting potentially Trizuka or splatted by a bomb. So we have just a few seconds left on the clock. It looks like Lumino's figuring out their weapon gear, and we're heading off into the next match here tonight.
Yeah, Game 5 here on Humpback Pump Track. This is a very all or nothing map. I feel like you can either win by 1 point or you can get knocked out in the first 60 seconds, as some other people will know. But enough about that. Looks like fairly similar comps from from each team. It looks like again Bubble is opting for those strikes to maybe get past the first check instead of that extra Zuka from the Sloshing Machine Neo. I just realized these teams are very similar. Ballpoint for Edit and NZAP instead of Splash-O-Matic. So these are very similar looking teams here, as looks like it's just a fight over mid right now.
Yeah, we do see Bubble doing a great job of pushing in to Bash's half mid, potentially going a little bit too far during the moment, but doing a great job nonetheless of applying a lot of pressure, trying to get this other slosher pushed out, who does ultimately go down. Great tripling strike as well from Bubble's side as well, as we see Rare trying to assist with a push into Bash's flat.
Yeah, that Inkjet and those Zukas did a really good job at stalling the. You saw they were a little scared to pick up that Rainmaker, so they're like, oh, what if we just pick it up and immediately die to like a jet shot or a Zuka shot? And it allows Bash to regain some of their footing, get the Rainmaker back to a reset point, and now they're gonna look for their opportunity to get picks. But the ballpoint goes down from RNG, and it looks like Goomies are again gonna go up in members, pushing back. The Slosher tried to do something. They went so far behind. The Zuka just takes out the ballpoint, and Goomies now have a very good push heading into their first checkpoint.
Yeah, like just like that camera the past like 30 seconds or so, Goomies did a great job of coming together and just gradually taking out the members of Bash as they were trying to go for a flank here or there, trying to just surround Goomies to the best of their ability. We do see Goomies do a great job of getting the checkpoint. Unfortunately, they aren't going to get much more than that, though, as the Inkjet from RNG Panda is able to eliminate their push.
Yeah, as you said earlier with that shoulder, it's sometimes if Bash has, in this case, if Bash has that, ooh, that was a good Zuka shot. If Bash has that Zuka or that Inkjet to defend that shoulder area, it's very hard for Goomies to go through it. But now Bash is going to be looking for a push here. They use that jet. It hits. Oh no! It hit the Tacticooler. Blocked one of their shots. The Zuka now getting blocked by the Tacticooler. It looks like they're just going to run for points, but the pedestal is not painted. They're just going around. Strike's going to come out, but Goomies is only one up right now. As the Slosher tries to 1v1 a Crab Tank, which doesn't work, and Crab Tank from Rare is able to stop Bash from getting that checkpoint break. And last up does a great job with that Crab Tank stopping Bash.
Yeah, we see Bash, they're doing a great job of still maintaining control of that shoulder overall. The Slosher player trying to keep that checkpoint painted, although probably being a bit too far off from the rest of their team. Inkjet doing a great job of applying additional pressure. Unfortunately also going down. We see Bash just trying to really make a lot of strong plays here, trying to find something, trying to get a pick on Goomies. Unfortunately, none of it come together as Goomies is doing a fantastic job of working together here and just really showing how fast they can move quickly.
Yeah, you mentioned the Slosher player, I believe that's Nemo on the side of Bash. They were the ones earlier that were able to get behind Goomies somehow with the Slosher, but now Goomies are able to go, they just run into a line of fire with a Slosher and a bunch of bombs. But Rare from the Crab Tank again taking out a couple, but Bash is able to stop them. Rare is again the only one up front with his with the Splash-O-Matic, able to pop it. Lumino looks like they were on the side with a shot trying to get a flank going. Bubble goes down on the Slosher. Nemo tries to stop him. Fox is just going to use that curling bomb to get as many points as possible. And going into the final minute of this match, Bash still needs to break the first checkpoint and get going. But with Rainmaker Humpback, you never know until the game is over which direction it can go. It can turn on a dime.
For sure. What a clean curling bomb, by the way, from Fox just a little bit ago, to getting those extra points for their team and further solidifying the pressure they've been able to put down. You do see two go down from the side of Goomies, allowing an opening for Bash to at least try to get this checkpoint here, because we have just 30 seconds left of the game. A lot of bombs being thrown at this pedestal, although they do get the checkpoint thanks to Lettuce's hard work. Yeah, and Bash is going to have to do their best to keep throwing bombs, potentially pop a special to get Goomies out of their plan.
Oh no, the Inkjet goes down. That was one of their best pushing specials, and Bash is now just on the shock with Warmonk, and that does not bode well for their chances. Goomies are just gonna keep it next to their pedestal, have a drink of soda, spin around. That's not very healthy for you. That would hurt your stomach. But Goomies stopping that push in its tracks. Bash had that pop that got Goomies 2 down, but it wasn't quite enough. The Jet was not able to find any picks, immediately going down, and Goomies are up 4-1 over Bash here as we're heading into our 6th and potentially final game if Goomies can keep this up and close out here on Clan Blitz, Barnacle, and Dime.
Goomies has been absolutely dominating this whole set and really showing what they can do, why they're one of the top dogs in Division 3, and really just overall that they really earned their way here through their group stage over the past few weeks of the CCA. And wow, like this whole set in general has been quite the set to watch, as we've seen both teams going a little bit back and forth. Bash really fighting their best fight against Goomies as well. And this is all going to come down to the wire here, as you mentioned, Lagoon, in Game 6 on Barnacle and Dime Clan Blitz. And it's going to be a bit interesting because, as we've seen from the last Clan Blitz game on Museum, RNG Panda leaned pretty heavily into that Kraken E-leader And unfortunately, I don't know if they're going to be able to really make the most of that Kraken due to the recent nerfs we've seen it have. And Kraken Cheese really not being a thing anymore. Do you have any thoughts on what Bash might be able to cook up in response to kind of what Goomies has thrown at them so far?
I mean, I feel like if Bash goes like the vanilla E leader or is able to use the custom E leader more as a defensive Kraken again, but you know, if Goomies is on their game, they're gonna realize, oh, they have Kraken. Okay, let's just try and do our best to dodge it because the E leader is so important to like keeping the range game. But then once you have a Kraken out, you know, you kind of need it to go up and into each other's faces to get kills. So I wouldn't be surprised if Bash either goes E leader for the range or saves ballpoint for the potential Jets again. Because Jets again, Jet is such a really good special. It's just not a lot of weapons have it in order to fully show off how good it is. But we're gonna see what Goomies and Bash do. Goomies again, same comp they've been running. Bash, sticking with the custom leader. Okay, now we're gonna see how it really works here from each side. Again, the shot and the buckets both the same. E leader outranges the sniper rider, so that may be a reason to run it. And Lettuce and Rare, you know, sticking with the zap and the splash-o-matic picks.
As we saw last time on a Clan Blitz map, Goomies was able to do a great job of throwing out a lot of paint into mid and really just using that to control a lot of the map. I think we really need to see Bash here get the certain picks they need. We already see them get a good, solid early pick on the pencil, which has eliminated a lot of Goomies' paint pressure, and they actually are able to get the plat here. Although we do see a fight with the Slosher player from the side of Goomies, as quite a lot of back and forth is happening right now in mid.
Yeah, and Goomies are able to get 2 down on the side of Bash, and Bash very wisely retreats in their plat, but the Slosher I believe Bubble was able to pick off the leader. Now 3 down on the side of Bash. Goomies had a lot of clams, but not quite a power clam yet. It looks like they were able to make one. No, they're still a little fumbling around with it. Now they finally get it. Rare gets the clam in. Strikes are coming out, and Bash is now on the back foot again, starting on this Clan Blitz game. So it looks like Goomies have a very strong advantage when it comes to Clan Blitz, at least in this matchup. But Bash is just going to have to try and get back into it as only the leader from Panda stays up, but the goal goes down, and now it's time for Bash's chance to regroup, excuse me.
For sure. We do see Rare doing a really good job of making sure that the left half of this map that is under only Bash's control, it stays under the Goomies' control. The Kraken going straight for Rare, though, to make sure that that doesn't stay the case for long. Fox doing a great job of painting up zone here, backing up his teammates in mid and throwing out a solo for good measure. Although Bash not taking that lightly as they throw out some of their own specials. And once again, a lot of back and forth, although Goomies is doing a great job of being able to hurry back into Bash's score.
There are so many clams around for the Goomies to get up. They are already down to what looks like will be the 10 points left. Bash is in a very... Yeah, they have enough clams there. Not quite again. 2! Not again! You're gonna let it happen again. Not quite. Fox is able... I don't know what Fox was doing. He didn't have any clams there. Just trying to do something to stall, maybe get a jump in. This is very similar to clams on Museum where Goomies gets it so close, but not quite able to KO. And now Bash has a chance to potentially retaliate. But again, it's going to be a long road getting here. 98 on Clan Blitz is so many points. And it's going to take so long for them in order to get back in here.
Bubble's doing a great job of being able to apply pressure to Bash's E leader, forcing them to go into Kraken form, although they do get nearly 2 players splatted as they're trying to get some teammate jumps in, really trying to keep up pressure the best they can. Unfortunately, they're still struggling to keep hold of their plat here, though.
Yeah, and I was really hoping that the Bash leader was going to get that sick pick with the squid roll off of the ledge, but not quite enough. And Bash is just trying to retake some of mid here. They're finally able to get up on the pencil. They don't force it enough. The Slosher comes out from Nemo, and now Goomies again on the bot. They have 2 power clams. If they're able to score both of them in one more clam, they are able to knock it out. But Bash is not going to go down without a fight. The leader's trying to get a pick over there on him. Looks like a Splash-O-Matic. And Goomies again just chilling on Bash's plat with a minute left to go. Bash is in a lot of trouble if they want to try and keep their chances at a Div 3 title shot alive.
Warmonk sending out some Hail Mary shots with his Trizuka there, trying to find a pick on the pencil. Unfortunately not. Although doing some great work here, trying to put bombs on Goomies' plat. Taking out Lumino with him, though, as we see a player come off of spawn off the side of Bash and 2 down on the side of Goomies. Bash finding some really key picks here in the last 30 seconds in the match, which may open them up for a last-second push.
Yeah, Bash is going to do all they can. They have 2 power clams. By my math, that's 40 plus another 15. That's only 55. That gives them a little over halfway, but not quite enough. This Kraken's got to do a lot of heavy lifting, but 2 down, 2v2 on the side of Bash. It's very rough right now. The leader gets a pick on Lumino, 2v2. All the clams, unfortunately, are going to go away. Kraken's going to go in. I don't know if this is going to work, because if Goomies just like ignore it and go past it. 2 down on the side of Goomies, though. Zuka's going to come out and get the slosher. It just does not look like there's enough time or enough ways for Bash to try and get in. The leader's the last one alive. Not able to force it through. And Goomies are going to get the 5-1 victory, advancing to the semifinals here in Division 3.
Holy, what a insane final push from the side of Bash. They really gave it their all there, trying to do their best to get at least one of those power clams in and try to secure a strong overtime push. But yeah, unfortunately that didn't work out for them, as Goomies was able to really just hold down the fort, as we saw how dominating they were that whole match overall. But yeah, that's, as you said, Lagoon, that's gonna be hit, at least when it comes to the score during this set, as Goomies is going to be advancing, and you know, maybe not for Bash, but overall a really strong season for both teams here, and they should all be really proud of themselves and what they've been able to accomplish.
Yeah, Bash again, just like those Clamblitz games were, I think, were really what like messed with them a lot. They just could not find any ground whatsoever. Both games, the Goomies had such a good advantage, not leaving their spawn once. It shows how good their teamwork is. They're able to coordinate those clan pushes really well, and Bash just never quite being able to do it. The Kraken, it's really hard, because the Kraken can't. If it does really well, it can get a lot of picks, as we saw there, almost getting 2 picks earlier. But unfortunate for Bash, but they still played very well. And as we're heading into, you know, not official games, but a game 7 here on Splat Zone. Oh my god, I cannot talk today. I'm sorry. Splat Zone Ship-Shaped Cargo Company. We're gonna see, you know, we're gonna see what Bash can do here. Now that the stakes are a little lower, the pressure is gonna be turned down a lot, and we're gonna have a little more fun with it.
Yeah, I completely agree. Bash already has proved themselves to not be a team to take lightly, especially with that strong overall control they were able to show through the zones game earlier today. But yeah, I'm really interested to see what Bash is going to be able to cook up in response to Goomies, and if they're able to take off any friendlies matches over them.
Yeah, it looked like Bash had the advantages in the zones game, and they were doing really well on the TC games until, you know, they just weren't. They got steamrolled a little bit on the Manta game, and on the Rainmaker game, they were also very close. So Bash, really the only I think very like big difference between the 2 teams is their Clamblitz games. It looks like Goomies just kind of had Bash's number on that whole ordeal. But heading into Ship Shape here, this map is either really contested again, or it's just you lock out the other team so fast, and it's so difficult for them to do anything to get back in here.
For sure. All right, but yeah, heading into this next game here, Goomies versus Bash in a friendlies game 7. We're gonna see, we see the Octo Shot come out from Lumino once again, and Nemo's pulling out the Tri-Slosher Nouveau, so it does look like they're cooking a little bit. Also the red pencil from RNG Panda.
Yeah, you never see the red pencil over the blue pencil, but it looks like, you know, Bash is going to try a little something different with this Tri-Slosher and the Pencil. Tri-Slosher is also very good on this map because you have those high points on the left and right of mid that's able to rain down ink, get that 62 damage, get very, very strong. And then we don't hear a lot of the red pencil, but I believe it could be a really good weapon, you know, if, you know, blue pencil wasn't a thing. It has that wall for the backline to protect against people that are trying to rush it. It has the rain for something for a quick reload in case it ever gets low, and it has a special ready. So it's going to be very interesting to see how Bash plays around it and the Tri-Slosher. Not to mention, again, the Splattershot Jr. with that Bubbler, and I'm assuming the double Splat Bomb build. As we see here, Bash is going in strong here, getting... You know, the Goomies had the quick and early lead. The Tri-Slosher is almost going to get that kill, but they have to jump out, and now the Bash is on the front foot here in the opening minute of this match.
Yeah, and as highlighted earlier, you don't really see like a red pencil too often, but that lack of soda from the red pencil is kind of circumvented by the Tri-Slosher, which is kind of a huge benefit to Bash, as they're able to get quite a few like really solid stress, like just, you know, specials that can help them move in a mid a bit slowly, which works really well with their high stamina comp. We do see Nemo doing his best here. Oh, getting a double on both Bubble and Rare in the zone, which is able to help them paint it back over again, as Bash has quite a lot of time on their hands to kind of ease back into win. Although I say that as we see like 2 different triple ink strikes come out from the side of Goomies. Oh my goodness.
That was a screen nuke from the side of Goomies trying to get that zone back. But again, not able to do it. Bash looks like they're just so good at contesting these zones. They have that Junior is picking so well for the side of Bash. Those bombs provide such a headache for the side of Goomies. Again, these double strikes coming out, and Goomies finally are able to tear the zone back, but their splash goes out from Rare, and it looks the bomb didn't get where they wanted to. The rain comes out from the pencil. Bash is going to be looking to get their the zone back here, and Goomies are just trying to do everything they can to try not let that happen.
Yeah, we see a lot more of that bomb pressure once again from Bash. The Headit player from the side of Goomies is able to get a really solid double from on their Tri-Slosher and Red Pencil players, and we're going to see a really good counter push here from the side of Goomies, I'm guessing, as quite a few triple ink straights come out. They do have the side of the lead on them too, and the Headit player here, Fox, doing a great job of holding down their side of mid.
Yeah, the Tri-Slosher from Nemo's is not going to be able to do anything. 10 points left on the side of Goomies. It looks the rain is going to go up, try and do anything they can, but the shooters are both going to be able to cover up the rain, and Goomies able to get back in there after the Bash had a really good start and a really good mid game against them, but Goomies able to pull it back and win a Game 6 against Bash.
Yeah, what a crazy game here. Bash did a really great job of kind of showing that they can experiment, they can continue to counter with the Goomies throws out at them, and especially with just a lot of that pressure they were able to push out through most of the like middle point of this game. Unfortunately, a lot of it did kind of come crashing down towards the end, but a lot of great work still from both sides here.
Yeah, the red pencil from Bash was doing really well for them. The rain was able to let the shooters get in because the rain has that increased healing or increased ink recovery thing that it gives to its teammates, able to kind of squeeze through. The Junior able to paint over zone very well. The Tri-Slosher from Nemo getting that double earlier to I think they were the last one alive too, to keep the fight going. And now we're heading into a game. I believe this is 8, right? Yeah, this is game 8 here on Sturgeon Shipyard Tower Control. And oh my god, Sturgeon is just a map I don't know what to think of.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. Back during Splatoon 2, I felt like I felt a little bit better about it, but I don't know. With some of the maps we have in Splatoon 3, especially for something like Tower Control, personally, maybe not my most favorite, but it still yields quite a few interesting games here. And I think like Bash has the opportunity to kind of maybe mesh some of their past different comps together to make something new. I really hope we see that Tri-Slosher come out from Nemo here. I also think that V-Shot from Warmonk and perhaps the V Junior with the bubble from Lettuce would be great, and maybe the ballpoint even from RNG Panda. And then with Goomies, I think we're gonna see like a lot of the same kind of stuff we've been seeing so far. It's a really strong overall comp that, you know, if it's not broke, don't fix it. So yeah, heading into this next game here, we're looking to just see what each side can cook up.
Yeah. Also, I just want to point out something I see in our comms chat. Looks like the game we watched earlier where Llamas were able to hold off that remake against Coyotes Blue. Coyotes Blue just went 5-2 over the Llamas, and Coyotes are going to be advancing in the Div 6 playoffs. But going back to this match here, it looks like a little bit of a different weapon from Fox here with the Rapid Deco and the Hydra Splatling. The turret weapon that can laser down opponents if you give it the space is coming out from Bash. And I know a lot of people personally don't like Hydra Splatling. I love the thing. I love how it just lasers down people if you're able to get it in a good enough position. And so far, so good, as it's now it's a 2v2 situation from the side of Goomies and Bash is already on the front foot, getting the early points here. But Goomies are now getting back into mid, stopping the tactical from coming out, and that is very bad to the side of Bash.
Yeah, the NZAP player here for Goomies doing a phenomenal job of eliminating all the different players from Bash as they were trying to push up, getting really good jump splats as well. And Fox here on the tower with his rapid blaster doing a really great job as well of being able to secure a decent lead for Goomies. Unfortunately, though, we do see Bash pushing back up against the Goomies, and quite a bit of back and forth is going to continue to ensue.
Yeah, that rapid pro is going to have a lot of poke potential with all these, you know, different elevations here. You know, the bridges going up and down, the snipes from on both sides, that drop there on the right, those crates on the right. There's a lot of different elevation changes and a lot of places where if you get the rapid pro deco, sorry, into the right position, you can get a lot of pokes and get a lot of chip damage, allowing the other enemies in the team to follow up on it and getting those picks. So here, as we see here, Goomy is already approaching to the second checkpoint here, but they're going to go 3 down, and a wipeout on the side of the Goomies allows Bash to get back into mid, and now they're going to have to get going. If they get this Hydra in a correct position, and I don't know if Goomies are going to be able to come back for that unless they shoot a whale, some strikes, and a Zuka at it. But it looks like Bash has their specials up. Cooler's down, range goes down, and it looks like they're just able to crawl out of something. The Booyah Bomb comes out from the Hydra, getting to space, getting out of there, and Bash is now going to have to reset here.
Yeah, I think something the Goomies have been able to do a really great job at here, as they've done in previous matches, is with their paint control. We have seen Bash be able to take advantage of them feeling maybe a little bit too safe in their paint, like with Nino here with his range blaster getting a pick on Rare earlier. However, it's really been beneficial to them just being able to hold a solid control of mid. We see a lot of triple ink strike throws get thrown at the spinner, trying to push back RNG Panda with her Hydra on the tower. And yeah, overall, we haven't really seen too many more points get scored here since Goomies' earlier push, but Goomies is in a really strong spot here to just keep control of tower for the next couple minutes.
Yeah, and 2 down from the side of 3 down from the side of Bash, as Lettuce is the last one up on the end zap, and now the Goomies are going to be pushing in here. Fox is going with a look. Oh, he was on the grates. I'm sorry. The perspective was really weird. I thought he was in the bottom floor lining with a rapid deco, as they're able to get down, get the Goomies out of their base. Again, no points scored on the side of the Goomies, but they're just keeping the tower up in Bash's business, where they can't really find it out. The Hydra again back in center. I believe if you can get the Hydra onto the enemy snipe and just have full crane over the ramp there and the court on right where the grates are, that's going to be Bash's best way of getting some ground going here. As you see here, they are going for it. The range is fighting. Oh, the range goes down. I'm sorry, and the shot goes down, and it's range versus shot right now on the side of the Goomies. Lucinos. Oh my god, I'm losing my mind here. They're able to get it. Bash is trying to get all they can to get this checkpoint. 45 points. Goomies are down to only 1. Bash is able to take lead. The Zuka's going to stop Fox from getting any closer with his rapid deco, and it looks like Bash is looking for a knockout here.
Yeah, Warmonk was able to do a great job. Warmonk's gotten like 3 or 4 kills here in the past few minutes, which is going to maybe... Oh, he's barely able to get on tower and inch it forward just a little bit more, which is going to give this friendlies match over to Bash. And yeah, like mentioned earlier, like Bash, like don't underestimate them. They've been working really hard this past season. They've improved quite a bit. They have quite a few more things up their sleeve, and they showed one of those in that match here.
Yeah, and Bash is able to barely scrape out that knockout. I believe Fox was able to get that pick on the Warmonk there, but the momentum from the tower movement was able to bring the tower into a final checkpoint and able to knock out the Goomies here, as we're heading into our final friendlies match here on Rainmaker's Scorched Gorge, which might personally be one of my favorite map mode rotations in the game.
Yeah, fair enough. Scorched Gorge, personally, I think it's a really great map for stuff like Rainmaker and Clan Blitz. It is fairly wide open, but you know, it offers quite a few opportunities to potentially shark in an area, or just like have enough cover to safely move up if you need to. So overall, looking forward to this final game here. Kind of looking back at that past match, just to like verbally recap a little bit. Bash did a phenomenal job of being able to come together and find the picks they needed against the Goomies during that like last about 30-40 seconds, and really get that match like secured for them, and like once again show what they can do. Lagoon, like any thoughts heading into this next match in particular?
Yeah, with Scorched Gorge, it's going to be very important to have that. I would say the top mid area, but this isn't Clan, but this is Rainmaker, and top mid is a lot smaller than it is. But now that that's happening, the snipe platforms from both sides, you know, if you on the first checkpoint, you can have like, we've had 2 slosher players with Bubble and Nemo. They're very dangerous on those snipes if you're trying to just rush first check, because you're just going to run into a lot of slosher hits. It's very hard to get that first check, but once you kind of get past that chokehold there and you're able to get into the enemy's core area, there's a lot more room you can play with, and it's really hard to stop the enemy when they're rushing you into your court and potentially getting jumps in. And there are times when you could just be stuck in that position for like 2 to 3 minutes and you just can't do anything. So it's going to be very important to stop those pushes from getting past the first check. And you know, you have the snipe rider to help with the paint, you have the ballpoint to help with the paint. Well, do I think that these guys will bring out this friendlies match? I don't know. It might be what the Goomies are going to try, because they're going to view these matches as like a scrim. Nope, they went high. They put Lumino on the Hydra spotling. Okay, yes, Hydra behind your supremacy. Let's go.
Oh my gosh, the Slosher Deco from Bubble too. And Rare repping that gold dynamo, that's quite the sight. Yeah, it seems like Bash is kind of still taking this relatively seriously, maybe a bit more experimental than previously, with Warmonk being on that V carbon. However, wow, okay, we already have 2 down from the side of, okay, both teams have like 3 players down. What a way to start the set.
Nemo's on Neo's. I don't think there's any similar weapons except for the Splattershot Junior, because there's a Slosher Deco, a Custom Junior, and a Gold Dynamo from the side of Goomies. And the Vanilla Carbon, first 160p weapon in the game, gonna take Bash the first checkpoint. And now the Nemo is able to take that. The Bubbler coming out from Lettuce on the Junior. Now they're just, and now here's what I said earlier about them just living in your core area. The Craft Tank coming out from the Nemo, stopping Rare. The Zipcaster coming out. 3 go down for those chumps coming out from, I believe, the Dynamo Roller. And now Goomies are going to stop that push dead in its tracks. Wow.
Wow. Yeah, wow indeed. Bash did a great job of being able to secure Goomies worked hard for White a bit longer than maybe the Goomies would have liked that to happen. But we already see Goomies moving up quite quickly here. They do get a strong pick on that Hydra player and also the V-Carbon, which is going to provide them with... Oh, wow. They basically have a delayed wipe in their hands now.
Oh my gosh.
And they go straight for that pedestal and are looking to do just what Bash did to them just a minute ago, actually.
Yeah, Goomies are gonna be able to get this. Oh, and the Rainmaker explosion kills the Hydra. Sorry, the Splat Dom does. The Dynamo is not able to get it. Well, I don't know what the Slosher Deco is doing. Going down is what they're doing. And now Bash is able to reset the Rainmaker. And Goomies still have a lot of mid control, so Bash is gonna have to do a lot to get all this paint back. And but I know they have lead right now, but they have to get a little bit of a bigger push going because 8 points on this map is not a lot at all. It's not on any map, but especially on Rainmaker, we can rush the Rainmaker for a good 15 points. So we're gonna see how Bash is gonna, go into the second half of this game. How they're gonna if they're gonna push or just hold it there.
Yeah, agreed. So it looks like Bash might be looking to hold it a little bit, although we do see the Rainmaker go up by themselves, unfortunately getting outed by that Gold Dynamo, who's going to be trying to pop the Rainmaker here. But looking back in the mid, we do see Goomies starting to move back up again, trying to reclaim parts of mid, using that Dynamo to their advantage to secure different areas as well. And also pushing us in chumps to also help with all that. But yeah, Bash already getting set up once again, that Hydra getting a pick out on that Gold Dynamo, set up on the Greats. And yeah, wow. Just a continued chaos all around.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is just chaos everywhere. There's a Zitcaster over there. There's chumps everywhere. But Bash is now down to just Nemo and the Neo Stamper, and they're gonna have to do a lot with this Crab Tank in order to keep Goomies back. It looks like they're waiting for the moment. They're gonna pop it now, but the Slosher Deco with the Zipcaster is gonna go in. Goomies are gonna take lead here by 1 point, and they're gonna look for a lot more. And they go. Oh, I thought they were gonna sneak through. But Bash is able to stop them at the 2 mark, and now it's just the Gold Dynamo again up, and now Bash has a long way to go. Playing for the reset, probably a wise decision, and now they're going to do a lot more work. Goomies go 3 down. There is death happening everywhere.
Yeah, there really is. Goomies did a phenomenal job of moving forward really quick, just sprinting towards Bash's just their pedestal. But yeah, Bash is going to have to do the exact same thing here if they want a shot at winning, since they basically have to get a KO. We've already seen them trying to get that snipe under their control. Although, unfortunately, the Rainmaker goes down to a random splat bomb that got thrown towards them, and we see a pipe from Bash as Goomies goes to take that Rainmaker.
That was an unfortunate splat bomb to watch. I saw it roll down into the Rainmaker's feet, and there's just, at that point, there's nothing you can do. The Rainmaker is so heavy, and your swim speed is so reduced that you can't run away. But it looks like Goomies are just gonna have fun with mid with the Rainmaker, jumping around, and celebrating their win. They lose the Rainmaker. Hold on, in the final seconds. Hold on. This ain't over yet. Booyah Bump's gonna come out, pop the Rainmaker, and now Panda has to carry the Rainmaker. No, and they go down, and Goomies win this final game 9 here against Bash on Rainmaker Humpback. What a chaotic, topsy-turvy, death-filled match that was.
For sure. Like, they had fun with it, and I'm glad that they both had fun with it. At that point, if you're gonna go to the extent of doing the full game, like 9 games for friendlies, you may as well be a little silly goofy. And Scorch Gorge is like just a wonderful map to do that on, everything considered, with its kind of general openness, that nice kind of like bowl in the middle with the plat as well there. So yeah, great games from both teams here tonight. We're really happy we were able to get this casted as well, so thank you all for joining us for this set. And yeah, what a game.
Yeah, and congratulations again to Goomy going on to the semifinals here. I don't believe... Oh, we might see who they're playing. I don't know. I don't have the bracket up in front of me, best of luck for them going in their semifinals match, whoever they may fight. But yeah, that's about it. We got, I believe, 2 more games here on the side of CCA with another Division 3 match and a Division 2 match. Spoiler alert, Titans of Alternative versus Splatlanders, the Midnight Massacre Brawl, whatever we're going to call it. And the next match is UNM Esports versus CSULB Black. Both both looking to be very interesting matches coming up here, Uma
Oh,
Zen.
totally. Yeah. Lagoon, if I'm not mistaken, you might be playing in that upcoming match, right?
I may be biased to one of the teams later on that's playing, but
Oh, okay.
that it's weird that, right?
Yeah,
But yeah, Omazen, where can the lowly people find you?
totally. Yeah, so you can all find me at Twitter at omazen_monkey. That's monkey with no I. But and yeah, that's basically it. I also sometimes chill here around the CCA and also the Splatoon of Purdue world. Lagoon, where can everyone find you?
Most socials at Lagging Lagoon. If you want to see the Titans of Alterna, uh, the point of view for later tonight, check out switch.tv/lagging_lagoon to see us face the Splatlanders from my POV. But yeah, Twitter, YouTube, same things. And yeah, that's gonna wrap it up for us here. We're gonna have a short break before we get to our next Division 3 quarterfinals match. Oma Zen, it's been a pleasure casting with you, and these have been really fun games to watch.
Yeah, same to you as well, Lagoon. Glad I could have you commentate with me tonight. And yeah, we hope to have some more exciting games coming up later. And thank you all again for joining us, everyone. Peace out and have a good one.